What's up guys, welcome back to another video, hope you're doing well today and welcome to Fat Cat Moto Park. It's a track based in Doncaster in the UK, never a track that I've been to personally, although never say never, I can definitely go there at some point in my life, it's not too far away. It is a sand track and the reason that I'm playing this, two reasons. First of all is that the servers are down at the time of me recording this video, so I'm going to have to do some single player stuff rather than the multiplayer stuff I've been trying to do a bit more recently. And then secondly is, I don't know if I ever done a video on this track, however, back in my kind of like early days of playing this game, I used to pound a hell of a lot of laps out around this track. Now there's two tracks in here in total. There is a practice track, which I'm on right now, and then there is the main track. And I'm going to do a couple of laps of each one. The practice track is fairly short, so it shouldn't take us too long to get around at all. I'm on the Husky 252 stroke today, and the only reason being is I feel like with the scaling of this track, the 450 might be a little bit over the top, and I'm just thinking because it's a sand track, anything lower than the 252 stroke might just bog around a bit too much. So I'm trying out the sand tyres again today. Hopefully they'll keep us tracking nice and true. And yeah, when I first started playing this game, there was, I think, 3 tracks in total that I would really spend a good amount of time on. One of them was Washington, aka Washougal. Spent a hell of a lot of time around there, especially on the old 125s. I can't remember, I don't think it's up on the channel anymore, but I had a couple of hot lap videos on that back in the day too, back when the game was, I think, even faster than it is now, in terms of pace and traction. Just, the traction was so OP back then, it's unreal. You could go around majority of this track here without showing off at all, but as you know, beta 18, sand traction, it sometimes leaves a little bit to be desired, but so far this feels absolutely fine, minus the horrible sound of the sand underneath me. Forest was obviously another one that I used to grind out, and then this was the third and final one. I used to always stick to the practice track, the one that we're on now, rather than going to the main one, and honestly, I think it's just because it was a skill issue. Oh, keep the front end in a straight line. Thank you. Yeah, I definitely think it was a skill issue. I just think I preferred the easier tracks, which I don't think anyone can blame me on. I feel like that's quite a common theme in the community nowadays. I've seen a lot of discussions actually about like the game and the servers and what people play at the moment, and I feel like I'm just on the fence. I try and let everyone do what they want. Obviously, sometimes I'm a bit strongly opinionated now and then, so it might differ, but I've seen a lot of people taking screenshots of the server list over the last few days, and it's like the top 10 populated servers are either the trial map, because it's on Bike Life, or just the same old Forest, Club, Farm 14, Walnut. You know, it's like the same tracks over and over again. And it used to annoy me as well, in a way, because I like playing different tracks, and obviously whenever we get some public lobby streams going with you guys as well, I always try and put on some weird and wonderful tracks, or even using different bikes that don't get much love either. But yeah, it seems like a lot of people prefer playing Forest, and every now and then I have to take a step back and realise that not everybody plays the game in the same way that I do. As in, they've not sat there and sunk 2,000 plus hours into it to try and master as much as possible, so then they can go and play all these really difficult tracks, which now some of us top guys probably find quite easy. A lot of people play this game very casually. Maybe you hop on the game once a week for an hour, and you know, I can understand if you are in that position why you'd want to be playing tracks like Forest and the easier ones. And I mean, I play them a lot as well, but that tends to be because those are the populated servers already. I don't really have much of a desire to hop in a server that has nobody in it on a track that I might like, bearing in mind, and I just have to sit there and wait and pray that other people join, which I suppose it puts me in a very privileged position actually, because 9 times out of 10, if I do want to get a lobby going on a different track, I'll just add everyone in my Discord server, and we usually fill up a lobby pretty damn quickly. But I know that not everyone has the ability to do that, so you kind of have to take what you get. But it would be nice to see things mix up a little bit and see people branch out from their comfort zone. Obviously, there's different players in terms of, some people just like holding it wide open everywhere, some people like the slow, more technical stuff. If we move over here onto the main track, so this one is more difficult than what I just done, 100%. Like, some of the corners are a bit more bumpy, There's more than one rut or one line in each corner as well, and I probably won't be barking around this track as much as I just did on the practice one. I felt like the practice one went nice and smoothly. Kind of remembered most of the lines, front end tucking again that I was taking, but this one might take me a lap or two just to familiarise with myself. As I say, I never really played this track much whatsoever. Let's get up and over this, trying to hug this inside. And this track, I've probably mentioned at the start, is created by Bayer, and it was released in early 2021, like February 21. So that's only about 3 months deep into me playing this game. And this is actually Bayer's first ever track, which I thought was quite an interesting one, because I always assumed he was someone that had been around for like years and years and years and been pumping out content since day one. So it's actually quite nice learning a little bit about tracks that I've played previously but never really bothered to look into, which is maybe something that I should do a little bit more often. Is someone did suggest in terms of video ideas is almost like a rewind video now and then, where I go back and look at really early videos on my channel, look at the tracks that I played, go back and replay them, and just see how times have changed really. Maybe I've got a different perspective of them as my time on doing the whole YouTube thing has progressed and grown. And I'd like to think that I've grown as a person ever so slightly over the last 2 years. I mean, we have just reached, what we're in now, we're in April. I think it might have been May of 2021 when I first properly started trying to make videos on a consistent basis. So we're basically at the 2-year mark, which is kind of weird. I feel like it really has flown by, and I kind of think back now and then and just kind of grown it to what it is now. There was a time when, I think about this time last year actually, when I was still working my normal 9-to-5 job, as well as doing double uploads every single day, and I don't understand how I managed to fit it all in, because I swear some days I feel like I wake up, I make myself breakfast, I go to the gym for a few hours, I get home and then have like an hour of chill time, and then I feel like, oh god, I've got to quickly get a video done before I go to bed again. And I don't know how I've done it. Absolute workhorse, but shows that the consistency pays off more than anything. I feel like I've had this little discussion before in videos, but I see people kind of start making YouTube videos for a while and then giving up on it if you're not getting the results that you're expecting. And I feel like if you do want to do it, then just go ahead and give it a go, because the game right now is as popular as it's ever been. You know, the numbers are just through the roof. We're getting about 2,000 people a day playing MX Bikes and one watching it. And if you are going to do it, make sure you enjoy it first and foremost. Don't force it. I know I definitely had days or videos in the past where you can tell I just wasn't in the mood to do it and I just forced something out, and I do really regret those. I'd like to kind of hit all these with the same sort of energy and positivity all the time, and I know I'm like Mr. Monotone with my voice, but there is there's joy and happiness deep down in there, unless it's Mondays or Fridays on the live streams. But MXGP and aerial races, they're the ones that get me a little bit heated. But it's Friday today, as I'm recording this, and there is no aerial Supercross race. We've got the week off. So our week off was last week, kind of contradicting IRL, but the sole reason being is the hosts, understandably, wanted everybody and themselves to have the Easter weekend off. So whatever it is that you've been up to this weekend, hope you're going to have a really good time. If you've gone away for the weekend, maybe with family, maybe with your significant other, whoever it may be, hope you're having a nice time. And if that is you, where have you gone to? What are you up to over the next 3 or 4 days? I myself, I'm not going away at all. I'm going away next week. I'm going away on Tuesday through to early Friday to go and see my girlfriend again. Just moved actually. She has just moved into a new place, so it'll be quite nice checking it all out, familiarising myself. I'm sure that my sleep will be even worse than it usually is, sleeping in a brand new place. But it should be nice. It's one of them where previously she used to live with 3 other flatmates, so there was 4 people all in this one flat, which wasn't very nice. You know what I mean? You're on okay terms with everyone because you have to be, because you live with them, but it's never like, you never feel truly comfortable and like you have your own space. You know, you can't just walk into the kitchen in your underwear and you just have to like pray that no one's in there. Whereas now she's just living with one other flatmate who I get along with quite well. It's all very nice and friendly, and I feel like I can just kind of unwind a bit more while I'm away, and I'm very much looking forwards to it. Charlie and I went to the gym again today. We done a pull day, which is biceps and back essentially, and getting swole, turning into big boys. I'm joking, by the way. We're literally, in terms of muscle, we are like the smallest people in that gym. We was today, at least. It's actually quite funny. I swear, everyone that goes to my gym is an absolute unit. Either that or they're taking something on the sly. We'll see. I mean, that's the rule, isn't it? Is if anyone's ever bigger than you, they must be on steroids. I don't know if I could talk about that. I know that there's genuinely a section in YouTube videos when you... for those of you that don't know about YouTube videos, when you are uploading one, there's an entire page of kind of like genres or stuff that if you talk about, you have to disclose it. So if you're talking about guns, for example, or drugs or anything people might find offensive, you have to declare that people might find it offensive. So I'm actually not going to go into that conversation that I was just about to go into, but yes, yeah, I've been going to the gym, been really enjoying it, and I do much prefer working out with a gym partner than just by myself. I find that when I go by myself, my rest in between sets is quite long, because maybe I'll just sit there, I'll go on my phone and get a little bit distracted. However, when I go with Charlie, it's like, right, I've done my set, now you hop on and do it, and then as soon as he's done, I go back on as well. So a lot of time it'll be maybe a minute maximum in a rest, which kind of ups the intensity a bit and makes the workouts better overall. And it's nice, you know, we're the same height, so we haven't got to keep constantly adjusting the equipment all the time. The weights do need fluctuating up and down a little bit, depending on different exercises, just ones that maybe I've practiced more than him, or he used to do quite a manual labourish job, so there's some exercises that he's naturally better at as well. He's got that muscle memory built in, and I'm really enjoying it. And I said to him when we was there today, like, this is the first time in my life, because I've yo-yoed in size, like up and down so many times throughout my life. You know, currently you're gonna have to use the Google to convert these measurements into whatever you use. I do apologise. I'm British. I'm weird. I get it. I am currently 12 stone 6 on the day of recording this, and when I started it 2 months ago, I was 13 stone 5. I've lost a lot of fat and gained a lot of muscle at the same time, so I'm really even happy with just losing a stone so far. It's great. I have been as high as 14 stone 3-ish throughout my life, which is very hefty. And I've been as low as 11 stone nothing when I was doing nothing but cycling twice a day through lockdown. You know, there was nothing off me. But this approach is different, because this is the first time that I'm properly trying to actually do weights rather than just cardio all the time. I've genuinely really enjoy it, and I feel like you can see your progress a bit more, you know, like when you get that day that you can finally bump up the weight to the next one, it's just a really feel-good moment. And I feel like sometimes going to the gym is the worst part. Once you're there and when you're walking out the doors, having known that that's it, you've completed another day and you should be happy with yourself, gives you like that little bit of, like, I don't know, encouragement, or that little dopamine boost that you need to keep yourself going back. So I'm really happy. I'm in a very good place. I mean, what's really nice is when people that you've not seen in a while see you and they actually compliment you and they notice it. That is the biggest thing. So if there's no reason to go other than that, so be it. But yeah, good place, good times, and very excited. I've said before, I'd love to do like a body transformation video after a year in total. I've been going for 2 months and a week now. I started at the very beginning of February, and obviously we're a week deep in April. So when it gets to the year, I might be a completely different man. Who knows? I mean, I'm pretty sure I'll still be doing this by the end of the year. If not, maybe you won't see me for a couple of months, and then out of the blue, maybe I'll do a transformation video. There probably won't be any face in it, because I'm going to keep my promise that that's going to be 100k subscribers. But there might be a lot of bleeping or blurring out, sorry, for me to do in the editing process. We shall see. I feel like I've not spoken about the track whatsoever throughout this video. There's not too much to talk about. It's just a genuine, really well-built track. And it's Bayer's first ever one that he made, which makes it even more impressive. I never knew this when I was first playing this. And when I was learning the game, it was myself and a bunch of teammates that I used to play with on MX Simulator. We're all grinding bikes. We was all trying to learn it at the same time. They've all disappeared since. They've all had enough of it and gone about and having their own lives outside of video games, unlike myself. But we was all we'd spin lap after lap after lap, try and crank the road up a bit and see how that goes. And I would argue that the track's actually a little bit more difficult now than it used to be. It's still a very straightforward track, don't get me wrong. It's wide open in a hell of a lot of places, and I'm sure if you was to drop the bike size down to maybe a 254 stroke or a 125, you could hold down right trigger even more than I am now. But it's a really fun two-stroke track. All the tracks that are wide open do tend to be, and I just think, whilst it's not anything special in terms of appearances, it doesn't upset me, you know, it doesn't hurt my eyes. Like the decals, the track textures and paintings are true to life. If you've never seen Fat Cats at all, it's pretty damn similar as this. But yeah, it's a solid track. I would definitely recommend it, which is why I'm putting it in the description down below for you. And I might go back and visit one or two other tracks that really helped me kind of, I wouldn't say master the game, because this is more right trigger simulator, but tracks that got me addicted to the game as a whole, and tracks I really spent a lot of time and effort trying to better myself on. But that'll do it from me. If you did enjoy, if you could drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, I'd greatly appreciate it. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you're up to, and I'll catch you in tomorrow's video. Peace.